So, Joe, can you give us a bit of a run through of what got you into starting on YouTube and Yu-Gi-Oh in general, and kind of what your journey's been like?
Yeah, sure. So with Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess it's the same as everybody else. Like I played as a kid,
Hmm.
um, since '02, baby. I was very lucky to have a local around me where people were super welcoming to kids, and myself and my brother would go there pretty frequently until we got too busy, and got priced out during dad format as well. You know, the classic.
Yeah.
Then late high school, early college, I hopped back in. This was like wind up format, and then really hit the ground competitively again in like 2015 into 2016. The Burning Abyss Monarch Cosmo Pepe format, which remains one of my favorites. It's a lot of fun, and around that time, I was this is how I ended up on YouTube. I was playing a lot of card games and such, Magic the Gathering as well, and I wanted to do something with my free time because I had just graduated. I moved to New York City. I was doing, I was pursuing acting, so I was just like burning through my savings,
Hmm.
and picking up like shifts at like Olive Garden and shit. And what that would saddle me with is like, because auditions and practices were like at night, the days I wasn't scheduled, I was literally just like sitting and like doing nothing. And so I just started like uh, recording some YouTube videos just to like kind of keep my performance ability sharp. And that ended up going on, to where I am now.
Mm.
Very, very slow, gradual process. I think I was making videos for like under 1,000 people for like 18 months at least, and then in 2018,
Hmm.
Alex Simo saw a video of mine and put me on the YugiTuber Grand Championship when that still existed. Um, uh, the channel kind of took off from that position, and then in 2020 I got furloughed for COVID and
Hmm.
figured I would use the like 7 unemployment checks that we all got stacked up all right next to each other, and I would see if I couldn't make this work.
Mm.
And people were super supportive, and I was able to do it, and I'm doing it to this day and loving it.
What was it like? I would say so. I think that COVID example as well was especially something that's pertinent to a lot of us. Like for a lot of people, it's like yeah, you got chucked a bunch of money, but then it's also like you don't even know what's the plan. Like for some people, they got furloughed, some people got made redundant. What was it like, kind of putting it all into were you married at that point? Were you already married at that point, or were you not in a relationship at that point?
I was not married, but we were engaged.
Mm.
We actually called the wedding off, like early
Oh
into
wow.
COVID, just because we like just assumed that it would be impossible because of what was going
Yeah.
on. But no, yeah, I had plans to get married, but
Mm.
it was. I mean, we all know it was horrifying being like all the money has dried up immediately. Good luck.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I remember I was living with Danny at the time.
Hmm.
Is Luke Von Karma from the podcast, and my wife, then my fiance, came to live with us because we weren't sure if like we were going to be able to move between states
Hmm.
because there were like different COVID guidelines between states. So like day one of lockdown, she like drove over, 3 of us in a cramped ass apartment, and I'm like, for 4 or 5 hours a day, I'd be like, all right, you two are the most important people in the world to me. I'm gonna just go into another room and scream about this card called Access Code Talker, and I need you to like be as quiet as possible because we haven't soundproofed the apartment. And they were very understanding, if not a little irritated. But it
Yeah.
was it was a horrifying time. I mean, it really felt, I don't know. It's when your feet are to the fire. Sometimes you find motivation out of
Mm.
nowhere. And everyone is always talks about like it's hard to remain motivated on YouTube and stuff. And I'm like, well, the first time I really took it super seriously, I was gonna starve if it didn't work. So
That is
the
good
All
motivation
in
was
it.
there.
Yeah. And
Motivation was there.
I know you said it was a bit of it was a slow growth, but was there a point when it really felt like, you know what, I've made it, like I've started to be there? Was there a point that came along for you?
It was, yes. It was like I would say probably August of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had made a bunch of life plans expecting that the channel would just be a hobby forever.
Mm-hmm.
And in August, the channel was blossoming kind of to a position where it was impeding my other life plans. And I was like, oh God, like this is now real enough that I have to start making a decision about how much time I want to invest in this versus how much time I want to invest in these other plans I made years ago when I didn't really know what I wanted. And yeah, that was it for me. But I think a lot of people kind of think that these like big YouTube channels, they overnight just like have this huge successful break. And while certainly a lot of people were very instrumental in like getting eyes on me, Hardleg Gaming, super, super important. Alex, of course, it really was this slow, perpetual slog for almost my entire YouTube career of just like for a long time just making content to no one. And that's hard to stomach.
Yeah, definitely. I think I agree. I think that really speaks to a lot of, like, I can even say something. I feel sometimes you're making a video, and even sometimes you feel like you put your all into it, and then it's like 50 views. It's like, well,
yeah,
on to the next one, I guess. So you got to keep the same. So yeah, I definitely do get that.
Definitely. Like, I remember, Joseph, I think the first time I watched your channel, it would have been around Goki format. I think it was like a 10-minute testing video of yours got recommended to me, and I liked the format of it. So like I saw the growth of the channel over COVID and stuff, and it was insane. Like, it was nuts to see you like with, you know, the huge names of YouTube at the time, your CMOs, your Team Sams, what have you. So I think like what you said there was really important about, like, you know, just making sure you keep the grind going, and even if you're not, you know, even if you feel like you're only paying attention, there's no one paying attention, there's always going to be people paying attention. And yeah, I'm rambling a little bit here, but let's
no, I remember during that period, like 2018, Burning Abyss was like randomly a deck for like a weekend. It's like that Block Dragon BA deck. I remember I made a Burning Abyss profile, and just because the deck was super novel, it got something like 5K views. And I remember looking at this like as a channel that had 500 subs and thinking like, I will never ever make anything that reaches that many people again.
But
like,
yeah,
that's why
I was like, that's it. I'm just gonna spend the rest of my life chasing exactly this number. There's nothing I can do about it.
yeah, definitely.